told her, hey, give them positive vibe, encourage them, and tell them about your trials. She didn't reach this far without any challenges, right? So feel free to ask her questions, pick her brains. Stage is yours.
Okay, I just wanted to thank all of you guys for allowing me this opportunity to come speak to you guys. As Professor Montanita said, I was once in these chairs, that particular chair right there, that was my seat. So it's really nice to be able to come back and speak to you guys. So once again, I'm Summer Palmer. I am a CPA, and I currently work for the Iowa Tribe of Oklahoma as the Deputy CFO. And I just wanted to share with you guys my own CPA journey in the hopes that it will help you guys. And just a clarification, I am still shy, as Ms. Monson just said, so this is not something I normally do, so please have mercy on me if I get tongue-tied or just don't know what to say. This is my first time speaking like this. But to begin, I started my undergraduate studies here at Cameron in 2013, right after I graduated high school. I had no idea what I wanted to do, so I was undeclared for 2 years, because at that point, I'm very slow and steady type of person. I don't like to go hit anything too hard, so I just did the bare minimum of hours, which was 12, to maintain a full-time status. So I did that every semester until 2015, and then my advisor sat me down and was like, okay, you're running out of gen ed, so you're gonna have to pick a major. So I'm like, oh, okay, I guess business, that sounds like a good path. So I declared business, and for business you have to take accounting 1 and 2. So that's where I met Mrs. Montanita. And one day after class, she pulled me aside and she was like, "You're going to be the treasurer of my accounting club." I'm like, no, I'm not. And she said, "Yes, you can do it." And I was like, "Okay, sure." So I was the treasurer for the accounting club for 2 years, I believe. And so during that time, I went to all the accounting club meetings. I had to give the treasurer's report. I did all the field trips that was offered within my time here. All the volunteer opportunities, I took them. Those were really fun. And so I was doing all that, and then I finally switched my major to accounting around 2016, I think. So after that, and during this whole time, I was applying to any and every scholarship that I could find. I just Googled accounting scholarships, and I found quite a few. And I don't know if I said it before, but I'm Native American. I'm part of the Iowa Tribe, and that's where I work, so I'm really happy to be able to work for my own tribe. But there's a lot of minority accounting scholarships, and so I applied to all of those, and I actually got selected to go to, I believe, the AICPA Legacy Scholarship. I can't remember the exact name. And they paid for my entire drive to North Carolina, and that was a fun little trip. I got to meet all kinds of college students that were also working towards being a CPA, so that was a cool experience. And then I got, I think, the OSCPA scholarship, and maybe a few more, but I can't quite remember them all. And so I graduated in 2018, and that fall I went into my master's studies, and all my classes, and then I think spring 2020 I was supposed to graduate, but I had a little hiccup. There was one class, it was a statistics class, and we just weren't agreeing with each other, so I had to drop that class. So I had to take another class in order to fulfill my MBA requirements. But luckily, Dr. Treadwell had actually just started a new accounting class for graduate students, so I took that class. And then I finally graduated my MBA, actually on my birthday in July, so that was really fun. It sucked though because the ceremony, we didn't have it because of COVID and all that. So, but we did have the ceremony in that was 7 years of school. And so, I decided to take a year-long break of not studying, doing anything, just working, before I went for my CPA license. Because I knew I still wanted to do that, but I just couldn't take no more bookwork. So, I took a break, and then about a year later, in September 2021, I started studying again for the CPA exam. And I started with business, because I figured that would be easiest because I just got done my MBA and the overlap is like right there. So I decided that would be easy, and it was. I think about a month after I started studying, my brand new laptop that I bought just to study for the CPA exam broke. Wouldn't come on or do anything, and I was like, no, why? But so I had to get that fixed, and it took a while, about a month. And then finally got my laptop back, and I started studying in January. And in February, I took my test. I felt pretty good about it. And then a few weeks later, I got my results, and I passed, so I was pretty happy. And then right after that, I went right into FAR, because that's the big daddy, you know, the big one, and all the financials, and there's just so much stuff that you have to study. I studied all the way from February to September. That was like 8 months of studying straight. I would literally just wake up, go to work, come home, and then study for like 3 hours, and then go to bed, and then do it the next day, every day. Unless it was like a holiday or someone's birthday. I always think it's important to take breaks, you know, you don't want to overwork yourself, because that's not good. So I'm a big believer in breaks, believe me. So I took every break that I could, and I took my test in September, and then I got my results in October, and I felt pretty good about it, but I failed. I think I made a 71, and you have to have a 75 or better to pass. So I went back to studying for another 2 months, and then in November I retook it again, and that time I passed. So I was like, all right. So after that, I went into audit, which for me was a mistake. I should have done audit first or something, because after crunching all those numbers and figuring out the puzzle, it was a nightmare to go into audit, because there's just so much reading and all this stuff. And I like reading, but not audit stuff. I won't ever be an auditor, sorry. But I studied that, I believe, until March. And then I took the test, and I made 74. And I was like, no. And it was on St. Patrick's Day when I got my result, and I was ready to party and everything, and then I found out I failed. I was like, dang it. So went back and did the books again, I think for a month, and then I retook it again, and I finally passed. So I was like, hallelujah. And after that, I was like getting stressed out, because I had until August to pass regulation. Because I don't know if it's still the same now, but once you pass your first test, you have an 18-month window where you have to pass the 3 other exams. Otherwise, you have to retake the first exam. So I was a little stressed out, but that didn't stop me from taking another break. We had a surprise visit to go see my dad at work in the Virgin Islands. So I was like, yeah, I'm going. So we went, and I brought all my study materials, my book, my calculator, my laptop, my flashcards, everything. And I didn't look at a single thing that whole time I was there on the Virgin Islands. I was living my best life. So when I came back, this was like the second week of May. Then I was really stressed out, and I was like, oh no, I really got to pass this exam. So I really studied like really hard for about a month. And then I was trying to take it like the last week I thought I could in June, because I'd get my result in July, and that way if I failed, then I'd have another month to study before the August deadline. And so I studied really hard, and honestly, this was the one test I felt like I didn't know what the heck I was doing. I was like, well, I guess we'll find out. And then I actually passed, and I was like, oh my gosh, I couldn't freaking believe it. Like, I was like, it's literally been a 10-year journey since I started in 2013 to 2023 when I finally passed my final exam. So I was really stoked. And then I had to take my ethics exam. actually, it wasn't that hard. Some people say it's hard, but it wasn't that hard. And then, so I became official CPA in August 2023. I didn't get my official certificate until the ceremony, which was in December of 2023. So it was completely worth it. I'm really glad that I made the decisions that I did. I took time for myself. I didn't just I wasn't like a robot and just studied every day. I did pretty much 90% of the time, but that other 10% I relaxed and did stuff that I like to do. And for me, I think that was really, really helpful for me. And during this whole time, I actually was working at the Kiowa Tribe. I started there in 2017, so I was still an undergraduate then. I started as a file clerk. I think I was making like $8.25 an hour. So I started at the very bottom of the totem pole, and then I just worked my way up through the last 7 years. I went from file clerk to an accounting technician to a staff accountant, and so finally deputy CFO. And I've actually been the acting CFO several times. The longest period was a year and a half. So I was actually the CFO for the Kiowa Tribe, which was pretty crazy. I'm very fortunate that I was surrounded by awesome coworkers and bosses that really respected me and listened to me and really wanted to see me succeed. So I don't know if there's any Native Americans in here, but I just wanted to say I think it's really cool and helpful to yourself to go back to your tribe. It doesn't even have to be your tribe, any tribe. They have so many opportunities that you can apply for. They can help you pay for school. They can help you get your first job. There's just so many things, and it's crazy to me because a lot of natives don't actually realize what their tribe can do. But even if you're not a tribal member, look into working for a tribe because they're honestly like, it's very community oriented and it's like a family. And there's always plenty of chances for advancement and growth, so I highly suggest looking into tribes for work opportunities. But other than that, I think I said everything, so unless you guys have any questions, I'll be happy to answer them.
Yes. So how did your involvement with our accounting club or involvement at Cameron really push you for your career?
So like I said, I'm still really shy. I don't really like to get up and speak and talk. But Ms. Montanita saw something in me, and she told me, you're going to be my treasurer. So I was like, okay. And I think giving the monthly treasurer's report, it helped, like speaking in front of people and things like that, and being responsible, for something because you're in charge of, the cash accounts and you want to report, accurate numbers and things like that. And because of that, it helped me, go for other opportunities like those scholarships and things like that. And it's still true now, because now I have to get CPE credits. So now I have to keep learning. So yeah, I'd say it definitely helped me get to where I am now.
And then what does your everyday look like as deputy CFO?
So I have a lot going on. I currently oversee over at least 60 plus federal programs. I have to make sure that they're accurately reported on. I have to do the quarterly reports for a good chunk of them. There's actually 2 other ladies that I split the duties with. So between those 60 programs, we all, just us 3, we get it done. And not only that, there's just different things, like I have to make sure the time cards for my staff are appropriately put in, the hours are correct. I have to make sure that everything looks right. I'm responsible for making sure there's enough money in our payroll account so we can get paid. So that's the big one. And then right now we're currently in an audit because our year end is June 30. So we have 9 months until our audit report is due. So it's due March 31st. So right now we're still gathering some samples and we're just meeting with the auditors every week, seeing what they need and what they have questions on, things like that. And then there's also things you don't want to think about, discipline or things, you know, from like employees. You know, there's things that you don't want to talk about with them, but sometimes you have to. So there's just things like that. It's very different every day. No telling, like I always have a set plan on what I'm gonna do for that day, and then I get there and it's just, yeah, everyone needs something or has a question, so yeah.
Now talking about the CPA, what study materials do you use?
Becker, yeah. Yeah, I really like Becker. I think the books were really great. I also really like the flashcards. I know some people don't, but I like them because if I went somewhere, I just have my flashcards. And you don't even have to have the physical. I think you can have it on your phone. But I'm like a grandma. I like physical copies. Yeah, so I just took those with me everywhere I went.
Does anyone else have any questions? On the floor, sorry.
Oh, no, you're fine.
Being in such a high position, how many hours do you normally work a week? Is it a lot?
No, generally I work between 40 to like 50 hours a week. Like I said, I think it's really important to take time for yourself, and my personal life, honestly, is more important to me than my work life. But I make sure that I put in what needs to be done for that week and things like that. If there's something, pressing that needs to be done, then I will stay after hours and make sure it gets done. But typically, no more than that, for sure. So. Now my boss, the CFO, he gets there at like 7 o'clock and then doesn't leave till like 5 or 6. So I don't know what he's doing because I'm the one.
Summer, if you can go back now to your college days,
Yeah.
what practical advice can you offer my students now that they need to do now to be on track with their professional development and advancement?
Apply to any scholarship you can. The worst they can say is no. If you try, then you might get some help, which is really awesome. Also, take your time. Like, it took me so long because I only took 4 classes this semester, but I really think that really helped me because I was able to fully focus on each and every class and give it the attention that each of them deserve. And I know some people, they can do a lot more, but I know what I can do, and so I didn't want to push myself. So I think it's important to know your limits and work within them because it can actually be really helpful. And like I said, it gives you like the clarity to know what each class needs and what you need. Because when you're doing too much, you can't. It's kind of hard to think about anything else. So that's what I would say. Oh, and join clubs. Yeah, because I think that really helped me. Before the county club, I didn't have any friends or anything. I just went to class and then went home. And then when I joined the county, it's when I met Trevor and Logan and all my friends. So I'm really grateful that I joined the county club and I found my little club. So.
Very good, thank you so much for speaking.
Thank you guys.
Stay there, stay there. Just a little bit of tidbits. You need to listen to what Summer said, apply for scholarships. So aside from her tribal scholarships that she got, I'm very proud to you that she is an AICPA Legacy Scholar. What is AICPA? That's a nationwide American Institute of CPA. So listen to her when she says, hey, you need to apply for scholarships. So we have a little bit of token of appreciation for you. And may I ask Lillian, our president, to please help me give or extend this appreciation for her. Thank you so much, Summer. Thank you. And I'll take Summer's contact information, so if you're shy, I'll forward that to you, and she won't mind, I think, to guide us, give us some incentives and
Anytime
motivation.
we might need help at our tribe,
people. Very good. Thank you, Summer. Yes. You can. Yes, yes. Thank you so much. Okay, we'll move on.